Hello everyone, my name's Tom, your local friendly neighbourhood crackhead. It's been about 2 years since I've been typed through the objective personality system. A lot of reflection, introspection, and so I've asked the tribe over on Facebook, what would they like me to explain about my type? My type being MF, SETE, play, blast, consume, sleep. So let's get into it. Okay, question 1. It's from Ethan. Thank you, Ethan. What do you hate about your type and what do you love about your type? Ooh, the feeler question coming from the savior feeler. Who would have guessed? Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be a little bit rude and just dismiss your question because I don't care for it. You know, feeler question for the thinker. Never really thought about this stuff much, right? I did think about answering your question seriously, but I don't know. I just intended this video for me to show my type and prove it in a way. And personality, OPS, it's just maths. It's just code, you know. I feel pretty detached from it, mostly. I don't know. It's just kind of like, it feels like someone coming up to me being like, hey, like, what do you prefer? 2 + 2 = 4 or 5 + 5 = 10, you know? And it's just like, what? Like, it's just maths. It's just facts. Like, my values towards that just doesn't really matter. Like, who cares? Eh? And thinking about it, like, your question does have merit. It is useful. And it's probably something like I should think about in the future. But at this moment, I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, second question. And I picked this to go second because it's really interesting because it's essentially the same question as number 1, but it's got an NT slant to it. And because somehow I'm Savior NT, how the fuck does that work? I'm able to actually answer this question. And I'm not outright dismissive of the question. But this second question comes from Dan. Thank you, Dan. He asks, which 512 plus social best describes the thing that is my antithesis? All right, I'm not going to go to the 512 and social, but the thing that I find is completely opposite to me is Savior DI and Blast Last. Because it's just the complete lack of the tribe's perspective and not communicating information to the tribe that is the complete opposite to me. And here's an example, an extreme example, but anyway, so like I'm heading over to my friend's house. It's a bit of a drive. And as I'm driving, I'm thinking, oh, what happens if I have a car accident, right? And I don't tell my friend, like, what's happened. He's going to be, like, waiting on me. What happens if I die? Like, who's going to tell him that I died? He may never know. It's going to be this big mystery. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if I get in a car accident, like, how do I communicate this to my friend? Do I send him a text or do I call him? What if I'm really injured and I'm about to die? Well, if you're about to die anyway, like, who cares if you send a text? Like, you're dead. Like, just tell your friend. But anyway, moving the story to its point, when I get to my friend's house, like I arrive at that time and I knock on his door, no answer, not a problem. I'll just send him a text, give him a call, still no answer. And I'm there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, fuck, like, is he okay? Like, I know he has health problems. Like, what if he's inside and he's like passed out or something like that? What do I do? Should I break in? Oh, that's a bit extreme, but like, anyway, you get the point. You see the pitch. You see how I'm presenting myself here, right? Very tribe focused. But, you know, after half an hour of knocking or whatever, my friend comes to the door and he's just like, oh, hi, you're here. I was just out in the backyard doing my thing. And I'm just like, how am I not on your mind? You've invited me over to turn up at 5 o'clock, and at 5 o'clock, you're out the back, you're expecting me. So like, you haven't sent me a text. You haven't let me know like what's going on. You didn't think to bring your phone with me just in case like I called. He was just in his own fucking world and he didn't communicate that to me. And it's just like, fuck. So that is the complete antithesis of me. And to touch on the point that I was making at the start of the question of how this question answers question one, that's what I like about my personality type. It's very considerate of like, this is the information you need and I don't want to keep you waiting. Very respectful of people's time. Don't want to leave people in the dark. That's what I like about my personality type. Okay, question 3. This comes from Michael. Thank you, Michael. He asks me to talk about demon DI struggles and demon sleep. I was going to answer like that's very open-ended and vague and screw you, I'm not answering that. However, I thought about it and I will answer it just for you. So you better fucking appreciate it. But as you can see, demon DI issues right there. I don't want to answer this question, but yet I feel obligated to do it. Yeah, I'm constantly putting my needs below others. I want what's fair. I don't want to be seen as like ripping people off kind of thing. I do it all the time, but I can't think of many examples. I guess the one that comes to mind is like the other day. I finished work Friday, it was Tuesday, which is equivalent of my Friday. And I looked at the roster and like I got put on Wednesday morning for 3 hours. That's not I'm not contracted to do that. And they didn't tell me. And I was like, fuck, like, I don't want to work this shift, but like if I at the last minute be like, no, I don't want to do it, then like it's going to upset them and like it may like ruin my chances of getting other shifts and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, which is all totally true. And I felt obligated to just do it, like even though it wasn't worth my time and effort, I was like, oh, I'll just do it. I'll keep them happy. But I did cancel that shift because fuck it. And in the end, a couple hours ago, they did ask me to do a shift tomorrow, which is more amenable to my circumstances. So it all worked out well for me. All right, demon sleep issues. Well, I'm a similar type to David Goggins, and he goes to the gym, I go to the gym, and we have a lot of the same shortcomings, but I'm not saying like I'm as strong or athletic as him. I never will be. But I guess like I'll just overextend and burn myself out quite a lot. I guess for an example would be like rest days. Like I know they're important and I can feel it in my heart. Yes, rest days, I'll take one. But like when it comes to rest day, if I feel good, my body just goes, hey, like, no, just go to the gym. Who cares? Like you're feeling good. You don't need to rest, and I'll keep working until like I'm completely exhausted and I can't physically move anymore. Where it's completely undeniable that I have to take a break. So what I've done to overcome that is that I train every single day of the week, but rest days count as training. And why that NF works for me, I'm worried that like I'll get into trouble with the tribe whenever I try and communicate that to them, because like I feel like they wouldn't understand. They'll be like, oh, you train every single day of the week? Huh, you're so full of shit. Huh, check out Tom. He's a complete fucking liar. Yeah, right. I'm SE, I want to get the facts straight, and I'm a blaster, and I want to communicate accurately to the tribe, and here I am at odds with that, But yeah, and just to quickly add on top, I don't know, whenever I feel sore. Like, I got some injuries, right, from work and stuff like that, and I'll be working away, and I'm in pain, but I'll just keep going because it's like, oh, this is my job. I'll deal with it after the shift, and yeah. Anyway, I ain't no fucking sook like I save you sleep. Fucking, I'll burn myself out to the end because I am fucking tough. All right, Julie asked a bunch of questions. Thanks for your curiosity. Does sleep loss relate to not going to bed until late? Not for me, no. I remember when I was a teenager, I had a self-imposed bedtime of like 9, whereas like all my classmates would stay up at past midnight. Even these days, I'm still pretty like, sensible, and I go to bed early. However, the insomnia part, even non-sleep loss have insomnia. So like, I don't know what the correlation there is, but yeah, I do struggle to go to sleep. And I have a bunch of sleep aids. In case you're wondering, I've got Kava. I've got magnesium L-threonate, melatonin, and a bunch of others. Like, who gives a shit? And I kind of just cycle through those. And like I have plenty days of the week where it's like I'm running on 4 hours sleep, no caffeine. I'll go to the gym and completely exhausted. Have a shower before bed, have the room at the right temperature, have a bunch of fucking sleep aids, and I'm still like buzzing. Like, I can't fall asleep. It's fucked. All right. Julie also asks, what does avoiding processing your thoughts and coming to a conclusion look like? I kind of take issue with that. Not from you, Julie, just because those are the kind of words that come from Dave himself. Because like, and also the idea of like sleep loss isn't self-aware and stuff like that. There's just like, there's plenty of sleep loss people that I look at who are really fucking introspective and totally self-aware, and I'm just at all, right? And of course I see others who are airheads, and I see fucking sleep saviors who are airheads too. So like, what's really going on? I think the part you said here of not coming to a conclusion, that's how I see sleep loss, right? I'm going to find the images that Dave and Shannon have already used, but in other videos, they got this thing of like the introverted function stack and the extroverted one's GABA, right? So like, if you save your sleep, you're only aware of your own perception of yourself. Where if you save your play, like, you're aware of the tribe's perception of you. You're worried about how do other people look at me, and so it's like, when asked a question as a sleep loss, of like, if someone asked me, like, for example, like, are you a good friend, Tom? I'd be like, well, yeah, I guess. Like, last week I took my friend to the airport. How nice am I? I'm a good friend. But at the same time, like, I got this other friend and it was their birthday and I didn't get them a present. So like, I guess I'm not a good friend. Like, I am, but I'm not. Which one am I? I don't know. Am I a good friend? I took them to the airport, but I'm also a bad friend. I didn't get that person a present. I don't know. And it's this lack of concluding. So it's like sleep loss. We're hyper self-aware out in the spectrum, but like, we're not going, okay, which one do I actually think I am according to me? And it's always like, hey, other person, can you tell me which one I am? Am I a good friend? You're my friend. Am I a good friend? Tell me, please. I can't decide that for myself. And it's like, they could be like, Tom, you're a terrible friend. And because I'm play, I want to gather in their perspective, and I'll listen to them. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. Like, I could be a better friend. I'll try better in the future. You're right. And over the next hours, days, weeks, months, whatever, I'll think about it, and I'll be like, hang on, wait, no, fuck you. No, I was a good friend. Remember all these other things, and it slowly comes to me over time. All right, final question from Julie. Do you relate to the SE Play videos on YouTube where a guy fills his entire backyard with water balloons or bubbles just to see what it looks like? At face value, no, I do not relate to that. If anything, I find that completely abhorrent because it is so wasteful. What a waste of water and plastic for like no real good reason, no purpose behind that other than like the lols, right? So yeah, definitely condemn those kind of videos. But do I do that in other ways? I'm locking on to the part where you say where just to see what it looks like. So like if I'm making a decision on what clothes to buy, something like that, or a guitar or whatever, it's definitely, I need to try it on before I buy. I mean, everyone does that, but what goes through my mind is like, you know, obviously the fit and the color. Like I know what colors work well on me, right? But I got to see how the piece of clothing relates to the rest of the outfit. For example, like the clothes I'm wearing now, right? So I got like this green, mossy kind of dark green. Is it dark? Anyway, it doesn't matter. And then I've also got an orange shirt underneath. The colors go well together. But like, I got this other orange shirt. I mean, on the video, it seems to look fine together, but in real life, I'm like, it's not as good. It's not as good as this orange shirt. But having said that, I've got this jumper, which is exactly the same as the green one. That orange works better with the cream shirt. And so like I'm constantly trying out stuff like that. Like what do the colors look like? What do the shapes look like? You can describe it to me like in the exact words I want to hear. Be like, yes, those types of colors do go well together. But I got to see it because if they're off by a slight and I don't like it, I'm going to be pissed off and I won't like what I've purchased. All right, one more question. It's by some fuckwit named Andreas. Ugh. Why do you think you're an introvert, bro? Sir, that is a loaded question, and I'll have none of that. I do not think I'm an introvert. I think my OPS type is 100% spot on. I think some of the stereotypes I don't fit exactly. One of them being extroverted. You're supposed to be outgoing and chatty and always talking to people, which I'm not most of the time. Sometimes I am. See, sleep last. I'm not, but I am, right? Not defining myself. Right, like my whole life, like I've just been the quiet person in the corner, not saying anything. All the feedback that I keep getting is like, I don't talk enough. You're weird. You say more. Use your words, Tom. Like at work, I work at a supermarket, and when I'm on the registers, customers will try and make conversation, and like I'll just shut them down. They'll be like, what are you doing after work? I'm like, not much. I've got a whole day planned, but it's like, I'm not fucking telling you. Who the fuck are you? You're a fucking stranger. I'm not going to tell you what time I finish and stuff like that. Get lost. Why are you asking me these personal questions? Demon friends right there. What else? Like when interacting with friends, like I used to be a lot more quiet, but discovering my OP type, become a bit more talkative, a bit more outgoing. So when I interact with my Australian OP friends, they get to see me at my most extroverted, and they're still like, you're not as extroverted as I thought you would be. I think the most times I'm extroverted with that group is when we're on the Discord calls. I tend to talk a lot there and dominate the conversation there. In the Messenger group chat, I'm always, whenever there's a message there, I'm always like one of the first people to read it or like ping back and respond. When we have our little meetups, like we all fly into the same city, stay in the same Airbnb. I wouldn't say I'm the quietest person there. I'm more towards the middle of talking and outgoingness, but I am the person who goes to bed first. I'm the person who fucking goes, yeah, I go to bed first. I'm the person that kind of gets away from the group the most. I get drained by people very easily. Yeah, social battery is very, very quick to drain out. And so I just tend to hide in my room a lot. So in that way, I'm kind of introverted, but I do not think my OPS type is introverted. Okay, bonus question from Martin. Technically, you missed the cutoff, but I liked your question so much that I set up the camera and lights again. Martin asks, what is it like to have Savior Play and Blast mixed with Generalist Last? It's interesting because, as he points out, I've got the double extroverted animals mixed with the double introverted social coins. All right. There's a lot to say there. Not sure what to focus on. But I will start with talking about being lead specialist and just entering the workplace. So when I first started working, my issue wasn't like getting my work up the quality, you know. It was like the opposite, right? It was like learning how to half-ass things so then I could quickly move on and do something else. And I still struggle with that till this day, right? Like if I see things that need to be done, like I got to do them, right? I can't just walk off and ignore it. It's just kind of difficult to do that. What else? Each day, like I want to do my work as quickly as I can and to the highest standard that I can, because, you know, this is my demon NI talking. Like you can't predict what's going to happen. Like this, I work at a supermarket, so like all of a sudden may get busy, and you know I've got a good head start. Cool, but it's also like even if it's not busy, the other departments like may need a hand, so like I can go help them, and I'm sure there'll be days when like they can come help us, right? And so like that's not your typical number 3 attitude, you know, like the number 3s are usually like, oh, not my responsibility, not my job, leave me alone kind of thing. I kind of see my workplace, everyone being a big team, and like we should be helping everyone, right? Like every cog in the machine matters, right? Not just mine. What else? Yeah, this is a good story about being a crackhead, number 3, being in a band. At band rehearsals, I just wanted to practice and jam and actually get good at being a band, where the other guys were like, they just wanted to talk in between songs for like 10, 15 minutes. And I'm like, hey, like, come on. Time's ticking. Like, let's get good. And what else? I remember just like wanting to put on a show. Like it was a punk band. So like I wanted us to come out and be like, just engage the crowd. Like, hey guys, like, are you ready to rock? Yeah. Whereas like the front man, like he was a 4. So like he would come out and just be like, hey guys, like, thanks for coming out. Like we're all friends here having a drink together, playing some music and listening. Like we're just all buddies hanging out. And he was just a massive fucking lame-o. Hated that. This part of the story is more about exploring OE and being in a band. One thing I noticed about the other members was they would cycle through like musical equipment and gear a lot. I did somewhat, but not to the extent of that as them. Maybe if I had more disposable income, maybe. But I always felt very content with the instruments and gear that I had. I was happy to play the same songs and kind of just refine them to perfect them. Whereas the other guys were just like, yeah, let's just play a new song. They just wanted to change things up so much. Whereas, I don't know. That's why, like, when I was typing myself, I thought I was Savior OI. But, that's a bit of a tangent there. All right, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. And thank you to Andres, Julie, Michael, Ethan, Dan, and Martin for all your questions. Really appreciate it. And see everyone in the chats.